umitrang ba ka Jylla Meghalaya konrad ke sangma ula pentep ha ka yeng do ba thawai ba ka Jylla Kyrduh ba ya ki officer Indian Administrative Service IAS haba juba ha ka kanta kli jingkli ha ka saudru ber arajar arwar umitrang ba ulong ba na ki nyop nyongut ka Jylla ka don sawpoi ngut ha ka ba arpulai ngut ki dei ki barung pura bat khaprangut pat ki dei ki blak kentiu ka dan da ka Meghalaya Civil Service ulong ba ka Sorkar Jylla kelas dang ya ka chaka ai jinghikai ha ka ba la hikai lemba ki online class arsenam menswa house nam arja ka khandai ulo ang bah kini kijing ajing hikai kin aim sim ki samla ban pinyiso patman penkrel di sakini ki kap ajing sikri yakani menteri ula jubab lo kicing keli nak nang thau ang ka is silong Dr. Amprinindo kepala kwa ban tip yak Sorkar Jylla kala kentai nem yak amendment to IAS Kyrduh rules bala asya ka Sorkar how kulang kot arjar kwa arlang bak city nak personal and training.
Mr. Speaker, sir, reply to star question 77. A, yes, sir. B, sir, it is as per statement placed on the table of the House.
Honorable Speaker, sir, as per the statement placed in the floor of the House, on 20th December 2021, the Union Government had sent a letter to all state governments seeking their opinions on the proposed amendment of the IAS Kyrduh Rules 1954. The amendments which have been proposed by Union Government seeks to change the rules for central deputation of IAS officers from different states. May I know the stand of the Government of Meghalaya on this matter, sir?
Sir, in the letter that was sent, sir, we have clearly stated that we do not agree on the proposed amendment.
Sir, I did not hear the reply.
So our reply was that we do not agree with the proposed amendments to the rules that have been mentioned by the Government of India.
So I'm happy to hear that the Government of Meghalaya has done the needful. Did you send any letter before the 25th of January 22 to the Government of India, Honorable CM, sir?
Yes, sir. 2 letters were sent, one on the 6th of January and one on the 24th of January.
So may I know from the Honorable Chief Minister the gist of that proposed amendment which the Government of India have been sent to the state government, sir? The gist of the proposed amendment.
Sir, of course it's a bit of a detailed concept, but I'll try to make it as simple as possible. So basically the amendment was regarding the central deputation, and in the earlier cases, the central deputation was of course done with the agreement or kind of a discussion between the two governments, I mean the state government and the central government, but the amendment was in 2 phases, where first they wanted a timeline to be put in, where if the state government does not apply, that in the case of any disagreement, the matter shall be decided by the central government, and the state government concerned shall give effect to a decision of the central government within a specified time. So earlier there was no specified time. They wanted to, number one, insert the concept of, or this amendment of, a specified time. Second, sir, they wanted to also insert in a second phase, where they had put in further amendments. There they wanted to add the line that whenever the state government concerned does not give effect to the decision of the central government within a specific time, the officer shall stand relieved from the cadre from the date as may be specified by the central government. So that it will be deemed as relieved, so if in case the central state government did not give its consent. That's the gist. So it's about
yes,
deputation to central government.
So,
yes, Professor.
may I know from Honorable Chief Minister whether the state is having sufficient IAS officer in the state, sir?
So in a plain, simple answer, the answer would be no. We do not have sufficient officers.
So may I know from Honorable Chief Minister, at present, how many IAS officers we have in the state, sir?
So the total cadre strength is 77, and as of now, so the direct recruits we have 23 and promoted 18. So as of now, the total officers in the state is 41.
Honorable Speaker, sir, may I know from the Honorable Chief Minister how many such cadres are now on central deputation, and how is it affecting the state?
So currently there are 5 officers on central deputation, and of course, sir, the situation is such where we do need to send officers on central deputation. That's how the entire system works, and this is where the government of India and the state government are trying to ensure that these rules don't affect the state government, where they can take away the officials even though the state government does not give the permission. So therefore, sir, the issue here is that, of course, our works are being affected. As mentioned, sir, we have almost a strength of 77, but as of now, the total number of officers in the state is 41. So we have a huge deficit.
So may I know from Honorable Chief Minister, after he was taking over as a Chief Minister, how many MCS officers have been promoted as IAS officers, sir?
Sir, I don't have the numbers of how many were promoted after we took over, but as of now, sir, 18 officers have been promoted total. So total IAS, in the IAS cadre, there are 18 officers who are promoted. I would not have the exact number of which year they were, but total is 18, sir, as of now.
Last question, sir. Yeah. So may I know from Honorable Chief Minister, because we're having 12 districts in our state, whether the post of Deputy Commissioner has been holding by IAS officers, sir?
Yes, sir. The post of the IAS officers, of the Deputy Commissioners, is a cadre post, and therefore, yes, sir, all the Deputy Commissioners. There could be times when the situations are there on a temporary basis while some transfers are taking place. Somebody could be holding just charge. But yes, sir, all Deputy Commissioner posts are cadre posts.
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Yes, sir. I just want to know, the deficit for 77 is at 45. Why has this deficit happened, and why is it occurring? Because we are seeing that many flagship programs, not only of the state but also of the central government, are suffering because of this deficit appointment of officers. May I inquire from the Honorable Chief Minister, when will this deficiency of IAS officers be filled, and what is the plan of the government to get there?
This is a matter which has been a problem for the state for a very long time, and because of the shortage of the officers that we have, in fact, sir, just to give idea to our honorable members, that as a state, compared to many other states in the region, sir, our cadre strength is very much lesser. For example, sir, the total strength of IAS cadre in Manipur is 110, in Tripura is 102, in Nagaland is 91, whereas in Meghalaya it's 77. So we already have a deficit in terms of the cadre strength itself, and in the middle of all of that, we have shortage of IAS officers also earlier, where we did not get IAS officers joining us. So therefore, it's not that it just happens like in a year's time or day's time. It's a continuous process in the past for many reasons that this has happened. So as of now, so that's the reason why we did not agree to this particular amendment, because we are already short. And if tomorrow Government of India brings in an amendment saying that they can take away IAS officer on central deputation, and if we do not reply in a specific period of time, then it's deemed that the person is released from the cadre. So that's the reason why we are not agreeing to this. But while we discuss that, sir, the reasons are many, sir. It's difficult for me to really give out all of it. But so many factors, like in the past, as I said, we did not get the officers that we were supposed to get in terms of the joint cadre that was there. So all these issues are there, sir, and in the past, many did not come into Meghalaya state. So we had faced a shortage from day one, sir, and it still continues even today. And is it affecting our work? So yeah, it is affecting our work. But we have tried our best in the last few years to ensure that as many of the officers who were outside, as soon as they finish their period, we're trying to bring them back. We're also trying to ensure that minimum officers go back on deputation to a different state and or a different to central government. So therefore, sir, the efforts are on. But yes, sir, it's a big challenge. But the crux of the matter is, coming back to the question, that because of all these problems we faced, we did not agree to this particular amendment in the rules.
Sir, may I inquire from the Honorable Chief Minister, sir, whether the state of Meghalaya will now propose its own cadre for IAS officers, because this joint cadre seems to be affecting us, sir.
Yes, sir. So in the year 2019, on the 22nd of February, I had written a letter to the Honorable Prime Minister urging him to consider a separate cadre for Meghalaya. This is in 2019. And after the Northeastern Areas Reorganization Amendment Act of 2012 divided the Manipur-Tripura cadre, so we have been really pushing for this from then, and we are still pursuing this matter. And this is something that, as you said correctly, that it is something that's important. If this happens, then we would see that we'd be able to get more cadre strength than we have right now.
So may I know from the Honorable Chief Minister, since there's such a shortage of IAS officers, and if there is a provision in the rules that allows the officers from different departments be promoted to the Meghalaya Civil Service cadre or the IAS cadre?
You mean Meghalaya Service?
Now the officers in the government who are not from the civil services, whether it's Meghalaya or Meghalaya Civil Service or Indian Administrative Service. So does rules permit the government to promote them or nominate them as officers in the Meghalaya Civil Service or the Administrative Service? Does the rules allow?
So the promotion, of course, is based on basic MCS officers. So there are rules are very clear, and it happens every time the vacancy arises. But as of now, so there is nothing to stop us from using their services in other departments. So even today, as we speak, there are officers from different services, whether state or the central government, are heading or are working in separate departments and serving the state. And that's also, to a large extent, we're able to also make up for the gaps that are there. So to answer the question, sir, there's no specific rule on allowing from other cadres or other things to come into the IAS. But using them in the department is something that we are allowed to do, and therefore we are using the services of a large number of officers from IPS or from Forest Service or from the other cadres of the state also in other administrative work in other departments and even secretariat.
So I'm referring to officers who are not from the cadre service. Like suppose an additional director has been promoted, he or she has been promoted by the government to the post of additional director. But he or she cannot occupy the post of director because that post has been reserved for MCS or IAS officers, cadre only. In this case, will the government propose to nominate or promote that officer to the cadre of MCS so he or she can occupy the post of director, whereby then your shortages of officers may be reduced?
Sir, I'll need notice on the exact, this is a very complicated point. I don't want to mislead the House by giving a reply that may not be correct. But I have noted the suggestion, sir. So it's a very technical question, but it's a good suggestion, sir. And I've noted on the suggestions. I will examine the matter.
So just to bring to the notice of the House and through you to the Honorable Chief Minister, I think there was a precedence in the past where a soil conservation officer who was heading the department eventually became the DC of Nongstoin. So whether it was from the MCS or from the soil conservation department, that I'm not too clear, but perhaps the government can examine that. And if there is a precedence, then we can follow that. Then perhaps you can promote our officers who have performed their duties to the best of their ability to head the departments, although they are not from any cadre.
Yes, sir. In fact, there has been a precedent in the past that has happened, and but the important part is it cannot cross the post to be filled by promotion. There are rules that are there for promotion and recruitment, where there is a specific number of 23. So it has to be within that 23. But yes, the honourable member is absolutely right that it did happen in the past once.
Yes, Masalan. Mr. Speaker, sir, it's very sad to see, even after 50 years of celebrations there, we are having a very less number of IAS cadre within the state. And then I love to thank the government, at least they have proposed already to produce the stat cadre. Whether the government is contemplating any strategy in the future to give a better facilities, those IAS inspirants within the state, any kind of a strategy or planning, because right now we don't have a good coaching institutions within the state. Whatever we are having right now, it's just any Tom, Dick and Harry and then coming and then trying to entertain. Whether from the government side, any proposal or strategy is being contemplated or any kind of a plan is there. Because till date, we have only one Garo IAS officer, though we are asking for the ILP every now and then. We are still under the non-tribal people who are ruling the state, like DCs, non-tribal SPs, non-tribal everyone. So I would like to urge the government at least try to produce our own people by giving strategizing in a way that our people will be IAS cadre tomorrow. So any strategy, sir?
Yes, sir. The point mentioned by the honourable member is absolutely right, and that's why, sir, the government of Meghalaya in 2019 we had started one coaching under the ALS Institute. I don't have the full form right now, but there was a coaching institute where we had this satellite-based online. The center was in one location, but then the people who were teaching it from outside. We had started that, sir, and it continued for 2 years, and we are definitely working on extending that in the future also. At the same time, sir, MATI also is conducting civil service coaching. So there is a continuous effort that is on. But yes, the honourable member is correct that we need to push this even more so that more of our young boys and girls from the state of Meghalaya can come into the civil service.